Alrighty. Alrighty, buddy. Welcome to the SimpleStacks Investment Live. We'll be covering your charts. You guys drop them down in the comments, and we'll get to it. I'll wait for this to kind of saturate. Let everybody know that we're on. So I'll just give it a brief 5-minute break here, or 2-minute break here, and we'll jump right into it. Alright, let's see what we're looking at. Anybody coming in, you can go ahead and just drop your tickers down in the comments. Alright, just a few more. Just go ahead and drop those tickers in the comments, and we're gonna get to it. Just sending some invites around. So how many of you guys were able to participate in Candy today? That was a really nice uptick there towards the end of the day. I was really happy with that. Just go ahead and drop those tickers in the comments, though, to anybody coming in. Alright, just waiting for some people to come in here, guys. That way we can get started. All right. Blink. Yes. Start with Blink here. If you know anybody who could make use of this video and you want to invite them this way, that could be of use to them as well. So just let them know we're doing this live right now. Come have your ticker charted. Beautiful movement on Blink after hours, exactly what I was looking for. So with Blink today, actually my group can attest to this. We played Blink all day, at least as far as waiting for some movement off of this ascending triangle. This looks good for continuation into tomorrow. Although I did notice that Blink's short volume was relatively high today, and that did kind of scare me. But after hours movements has since convinced me otherwise. The one thing I want you to take note of here is the volume rise, not necessarily the spikes in volume, right? Because that's only good for a quick play. All day consistent volume. That's what we want to see when we're looking at these kind of like newly, invigorated stocks. So that's what I'm looking at for Blink. And then as far as like any targets are concerned, I still really haven't mapped that out, considering I don't really think that Blink's ever been this high. I think this is all-time highs. Perhaps let me go out to the weekly. Okay. Oh my god. That doesn't look right. I'm in a different market. Anyway, so in comparison to that, Blink hasn't moved at all. But when we take a step back inside, I'm thinking that one of our first targets is going to end up being 20, the whole number of 20, obviously 1950, and then 1978 was like I think it was on the PPS. Oh, whoops. Cloud-wise, we still look really great for continuation. I would say that this is a win all the way with this guy, with Blink, as far as short-term plays are concerned. I would expect that we get a gap up tomorrow and possibly hit that 1950 level, consolidate, and then the temperature or the EV sector, depending on how the whole conglomerate is doing as one, then that will determine whether or not we see upticks. But you could just pick a ticker on the EV and almost play it that way. So, if you guys have anybody you want to invite, send this way. More the merrier. Get people's charting requests done. Just a second, folks. All right. Yeah, for sure. Spy sounds good. Well, if anybody caught one of my previous videos, you would have seen this breakdown I did of SPY projecting a double bottom, which ended up getting thrashed. Maybe I should have drawn that sideways arrow. So, let's go down here. Alright, so it looks like because we can't justify a W or a double bottom and break out past all-time highs, that's what you're going to see right here. You're going to see consolidation within this channel that we have marked. So this is probably your range here. And then depending on stimulus, because this is a pivotal moment for SPY, volume sheds. If you're talking about blink, Amy, yes, the volume absolutely is indicating that we're going to move, and it's stayed consistent all throughout the day. That's what I much prefer. I haven't used the volume profile. I usually just use volume. I think I've seen the volume profile, but I haven't actually used it. Kenny, I'd say that we're going to consolidate. Maybe tomorrow, since there's hope, we may go visit this resistance again, and towards the day, towards the, the middle of the day, we'll see whether or not we get some type of progress in those talks. So. Okay. If you're coming in, just drop those tickers down in the comment section. I'll get to them. If you've got any questions, anything like that. All right. Yeah, of course. Amy, going back to your question about candy. Hold on one second. Let's see. All right. All right. Yeah, let's get a game on there, man. The little game breakdown yesterday. we're gonna watch, or let's do candy. So back to your question. When I say a rejection off support, when we get these pullbacks, like let's say, for example, candy, um, or like here, let's find an example, right? We could probably find, 1 second. So, like, let's say right here. Now, this is actually end of day, so we don't end up getting that type of pop. So what I mean is when we go and we visit on the lower time frames, a support, whether it be within a pattern, right? Or like let's say we have that drawn out. So when we get here, and in fact, let me use Apple as an example, because Apple we actually had, I can actually possibly even show you. Myrna and PFE. I'm not really sure. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I know a lot of people get burned on that because of the volatility behind those mRNA and PFE. I know Cerna was a good play as of recently, but yeah. So let me take you back really quick. So right here. Okay, so middle of the day. I'm going to show you what this looks like. So that, boom, did you see that? How fat, like just immediately taps again, rejects. See that? Rejects. Rejects. Just everything is ticking away. And then you get a bounce down, bounces right back up. Bounce right back up. Do you see those rejections? That means the buyers are present. They're stepping in. Nope, you can't have that. Like, no, this is our level, Boom, we're gonna buy here. So that's what I mean when I see, like, yeah, true, this looks like a pretty bullish or a bearish setup that we could break, but in all actuality, like looking at that bounce, you can see that Apple's not going to give up that 1760 level. So I honestly stay away from these tickers because of how quickly and how like oh god, Moderna has burned me a couple times just because you're dealing with something that's not set in stone yet. All the pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. I feel it just leads to so much. Like you could have I think what was it? AstraZeneca had like a vaccine like made some lady for like lose God or something. I forgot what it was, but so GameStop, Zazili. Again, if you guys know anybody that could enjoy this video or would give this a reshare, I really appreciate that. Let people know we're out here, and maybe even make you some money. So GameStop. One thing I wanted to look up was I spelled interest wrong. My finger glitched. That's alright. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so GameStop, man, the short volume was amongst the highest in the market. Right around October, November. After that huge run up, yeah, GameStop's short volume was so high, and I was expecting that we could possibly see a squeeze, and that obviously hasn't quite played out yet. But one thing I did want to know, and I actually don't, I was just like kind of drawing around here, but 1 second. There it is. So that's actually game breaking, like the most like weak break of resistance possible. But uh, so what happens a lot just below the major support lines we draw? Yes, so major psychological numbers, Amy, are going to be, you're going to see that type of buying coming in because that's a supplies or a demand zone. It's where they could, it's a good spot to buy, right? And until you lose that spot, it's just a good position to get into. And like I said, psychological number, it's just in people's heads. They're like, ooh, Apple just hit, you know, 120. 121's a huge number for Apple. Let Apple get past 121 and it's we're off. So with GameStop, man, I would be awaiting earnings, which is let's see, November 25th, and that's exactly why I think this is sitting the way it is. I don't believe that GameStop's earnings last quarter were good at all. Uh, we could consider the PlayStation pre-orders possibly just like completely being sold out. They're always sold out of every console, at least in my local area, and that seems to be the sentiment online. So let's see if that's reflected in this quarter's earnings. GameStop might produce or present. It's kind of priced in, to be honest with you. So I don't know if you're going to see a ton of movement. Um, the deal with Microsoft probably didn't justify that type of move, and I think that's why we've seen the movement that we have. But I'd like to see if GameStop will do something with its life, because honestly, it's just moving like pond water, and you're getting really. It's almost like the shorts are having to cover because you're just getting these big giant spikes, and then you just immediately right back down. So doesn't seem to be too much movement with them until we go ahead and break that resistance, and then perhaps news related. That's probably what's going to send GameStop on its next direction. So, all right, Baba. Alrighty. Again, sorry. If you know anybody who wants to be in here, I'll be on here for about an hour, so hour, 2 hours, who knows? I said an hour last night, and I was on here for 3 hours, so don't believe me. I'll get to Baba in just a second. Sorry, brother. Sorry, my screen's loading right now. Yeah, I'll get right to that, Will. I think you might be right. Yeah, I do believe that we have. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so with Baba, I'm gonna go up. We're gonna go head out to the hourly really quickly. So one big level that we I wanted to discuss, and I was just talking with somebody, was the fact that we didn't actually hit or tap the 200 EMA, but almost just went to this level that I had marked out. We don't have it marked out anymore, but 1 second. Here we go. Horizontal array. 260, right? Psychological number. Also, the number before this last, before us, like just a lot of consolidation on that level right there on the previous run up. I believe that was right before earnings. So it's definitely like a demand zone for sure. So we're in that level right there. And one thing that I was concerned about if we got stopped here was that perhaps we'd see like maybe even a head and shoulders trend reversal type thing. And we haven't seen that. So one silver lining is that we have earnings kind of far away rather than close up. So it gives us time to kind of recover. And so with that, I do think that like if we go down here, we can kind of see signs of a reversal on the lower time frames. Let's see that. Hold on a second. I need a 4-hour chart. Ah, I see what you're talking about. Let me see that. Oh, I need to change my volume really quickly. It's too bright. I can't. It's blending out the candles. Sometimes TradingView kind of ticks me off with these lines. I could see that being a wedge coming off this top resistance here. Why does it keep doing this? Get out of here. There we go. But it almost just seems like a channel more than anything. All right, well, let me get back to, I don't really see a descending triangle. I might be not looking at this correctly. But what I do see or what we did see is this whole ribbon right here. I did see a flip today, actually, on the higher time platforms. And we also got a VWAP crossing the 20-day moving average, which is definitely a good sign. We've only done that once prior before we tapped that resistance and we dropped. And that drop was news related, so I don't think that like Bava, I mean, would have taken that like that's not like a natural thing that was supposed to happen. I don't think, but I do see the EMAs possibly starting to look up. The one thing that is disconcerting, I suppose, is the volume starting to die off rather than pick back up. Today we had a little bit of pickup towards the end of the day that kind of helped, but more or less, like even the MACD isn't really responding very strongly on the upticks, and so I'd like to see some at least some more bouncing as far. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Maybe I do see your triangle. Maybe. It's kind of goofy looking though. All right. Anyway, yeah. So looking at BABA, I would be expecting at least on the higher time frame, somewhere around this 3 to 2 hour. Um, yeah, I would be expecting the whole ribbon flip to at least start to turn up. So if you have SMAs on your chart, I'd be looking at the SMAs to start turning upwards. And then these EMAs too, like so far, and if you want me to give you my honest diagnosis, I suppose, I think we'll probably end up retesting this bottom. Unless tomorrow we can move up in pre-market rather than like moving down. I know that the executive order from Trump, which I don't know if it directly correlated to BABA, but had something to do with it because like the MCIHI shares, which are, if you don't know, they're the Chinese index in America. So you can literally see how all Chinese tickers are doing, or any of the ones that fall under that one. So I could see that wedge a little bit though. I see what you're seeing. We would need to see a pretty strong rejection here, right? And then I think that would probably be, yeah, definitely something, definitely a pattern there. But and then if it is a descending wedge, a lot of the times descending wedges can be reversals as well. So when we get to this support, perhaps then see a bounce. So okay. Oh, you know what? You know why? Because I think Zanzi was talking about GameStop, and I'm sitting over here looking at BABA. That's a descending triangle, I believe. I'll tell you what it isn't, making me money. GameStop steal money from my pockets. And I mean that literally when I go in store and I try and return a game. And they're like, that's not even a real game. We're not giving you anything. Pacific Ethanol. What in the hell? What happened? Earnings happened. That's what happened. Oh my god, I lost 50%. Oh, it was about Baba. Okay, cool. I was lost like last year's Easter eggs, dude. It's like, what is this guy talking about? Alright, I like the 15. For potential, right? We're going to take a look at this on multiple different time frames, so. Hold on one second. Alright, okay, so with this one, right, we're still well above the 200 EMA, really strong MACD flip, okay, that's the whole sell-off in general, but what the good thing is that this MACD flip is seemingly over, so we've finished the onslaught supposedly. So the only thing that is not looking, and I'm going to start on the daily, and we're going to work our way down. I've never charted this before, y'all. I've never even heard of this company. I know that they do ethanol, and that's all I got. But we'll look at it from a technical analysis standpoint. Yeah, I think you might actually see a little bit more, perhaps a little bit more downside if this. We seem to just be consolidating here, trying to find, like, this is trying to settle as support. This is the daily, mind you. But the one thing that I'm seeing I don't like, if you're bullish on this, is my whole indicator and this 9-day or 50-day moving average are intertwined here. And if we cross over, right, that means more downside, because that 50 EMA, you see, it respects, right? So that's going to drive that down. So what you're going to want to see, hopefully, is the buyers step back in with this MACD rollover, and we stay on this 550 level, 555, 560 level, stay there, and this EMA will end up rejecting, right? And then that will allow us at least some breathing room in order to work our way past the 50-day moving average. The ribbon, on the other hand, right, if it can break down or past this the price, or if the price stays sideways for a while, it'll cross this ribbon, and then the ribbon, once you get a crossover, just like you do here, will curve itself back around, and that's what you get. So you get, yeah, you can see how it does it. So hopefully we would continue going down right here. And then what we would want to see is the actual price kind of just chop around here, and then that would allow that whole ribbon to kind of work its way back up, thus saving us heartache. And then also a rejection of this 20-day moving average off the 50-day moving average would be nice to see. So hopefully something like that. I am an artist, professional one. I'm not. 1 second. Oh man, I just realized I had my mic muted. I hope that answered your question though, on PEIX. The EMAs for a bullish setup would need to reject. The 20 needs to reject the 50. 50 needs to continue, and then the stock needs to consolidate on this 550 level, breaking through the hole and then allowing the hole to come back around and drive the next buying cycle, which could present itself. A lot of times, cup and handles make themselves present in these situations. But yeah, so with PEIX, relatively cheap, obviously, and the MACD is about to flip back over, so you could see some buying coming in. I'd keep your eyes peeled for that one. So. Wait, Pacific Ethanol does? That's crazy. And let's check my Baba. Yeah, Penn has a really good setup on it. All right, 1 second. Yeah, Vincent, we'll get on Workhorse in just a second. I got a setup for you. All right, so Pinterest setting itself up to move really nicely. Still, let's go move here. And I break this emoji off. So I like that, right? A false breakout here, the daily. Here we finished above that resistance that we have, where I was thinking that there was a possibility that we would actually break that level, and we would see a possible inverse head and shoulders, which does not usually happen on a bullish trend. But it did, as much as it gapped down and then came back down, it kind of had that look to it. But so, and again, just for anybody tuning in, if you guys want to share this with anybody you know, Twitter, Instagram, and have see if they're interested in getting their tickers done as well. It's free money, so I'm happy to help. This is actually kind of fun. So pins, yeah. So pins finished up on top of resistance, up above the whole indicator. Earnings is over. So now we got time. Look at this weak. Sorry, excuse my language. Look at this weak ass MACD, like on the as far as like the sell is concerned. That like you might as well just left like and not even tried. But I hope that wasn't shorts, but hopefully just profit taking. But so anyway, up above that resistance, MACD looks weak. I think regarding EMA is all. We have 9, 550. I'd have to see a picture of what you're talking about. If they're all stacked together, that's almost like what's neither nor. Oh, for pins. I don't know. I have to take a look. Hold on. You said you have all of the pins EMAs. Yeah, let's go see what other EMAs I can slap on here. What EMA indicators do you have on yours? Just the double. Triple. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I kind of have to see what you're talking about. I'm not really sure what you like. I know what you mean. Like they're stacked up on top of each other. So like in that regards, like usually if you get like the EMAs all within like, I mean it depends on what the time frame is. If you have the 9 and the 21 moving in tandem, that makes more sense. The 9 should obviously if the 9 crosses over to the 21, that's going to be like an uptick. But stacked on the daily. Let me zoom back out. When you say stacked, do you mean like this, like 1, 2, 3? Because this is bullish, and yes, this is good. Space between the EMAs and a steady uptrend, that's good. Then you just acts as a support, bounce, fly. EMAs come up behind it, give it a place to land on. So, thank you for everybody tuning in. Welcome, Garrett from SimpleStacks. Just doing some live charting. You guys want to drop your charts in the comment section. Reshare. Let anybody know who might want to stop in. Happy to do some charting for you guys. Okay. So with pins, I like pins for some continuation, especially with that break up above resistance. Look at that, nice. Yeah, we look good to keep moving. Let's go. I want to go check the weekly really quick. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, so for tomorrow, I would look for a gap up around 67.35 to 67.50. Probably more, probably right underneath the 60. What was it? 60. I don't have it written down over here. I think it might have been right above 66.50 or 67 flat. I don't have my levels next to me right now, but so anyway, MACD rollover is weak, and it looks like it's gonna finish this next rollover green after just like super weak, and so this pullback was, I guess, warranted for the type of run up that Pinterest has had. So I think this could be a good sign for, especially after tapping the 20-day moving average, that we could go ahead and make our way up with VWAP crossing over this whole indicator, and of course us staying, up or on top or in the VWAP area. So tomorrow I would look for some continuation with that one, and also I'd like to see some more volume step up off the average volume, which today was higher than average at 10. Where we're at 9, 9 to 11. So if we could get a little bit more volume, that'd be nice. One above another. That just means that Pinterest is acting right. That's really what that. I mean, all in all, like Pinterest is moving in a. There's no volatility. Nothing's yanking one of the EMAs down. Just a nice steady uptrend, and that's what you like to see. So. I think that workhorse, right? One second, all. All right, so workhorse. I just did a chart on workhorse. Workhorse looks really nice. Made a higher high today. That was my biggest point for today. I didn't really care how we finished, as long as we finished making a higher high. Sorry about that. All right. So anyway, sorry about the delay. So with Workhorse, I really like on pens. Yeah, I can do that one, whatever that is. So check this out. With Workhorse, we hit this really major support, 1550, bounced really strongly, steady uptrend, no, off this new support here. We have a perfect setup coming that I dropped a video on the other day. And that setup is this EMA cross. You guys will notice I say this a lot. I love the EMAs. I use the EMAs to trade quite often, and I look for these type of setups, especially on the daily. So today we just barely touched, right? The EMA finished with the touch. So I'm not gonna bet because I don't want to lose money, but I would bet that Workhorse pumps at the bell tomorrow. And or we have a ridiculous some sort of gap up and then a pullback. Not a ridiculous gap up, but some sort of gap up in order to put us up above this new high. The whole indicator has flipped green, right? Let's see. Yeah, and same thing here. Not on the 4. The 4 does not work with the hole at all. It's like someone beat the hell out that ribbon. Good God, that's gonna look. Yeah, so heavy consolidation. Um, we did break. We did retest. Right when this, funny enough, right when the EMA crossed resistance, it wicked down and touched that resistance and that EMA at the same time. Two birds with one stone. Yeah, so I would imagine tomorrow we either get, and this all depends on the market sentiment. Oh no, I'm blind now. 1 second. Oh, my phone just died. All right. Well, if I can't answer your question for like 2 seconds, sorry about that. I thought I plugged my phone in the wall, but I did not. But anyway, so for Workhorse, I would expect, depending on what happens between now and then, as far as futures, market sentiment, stimulus talks, crazy Nancy, crazy Trump, all the crazy people, all the rich people that rule our lives, if they say that we can have our money tomorrow, then I imagine we'll get a gap up. Not our money, like as in the stimulus will pass, but if some type of progress and the market can react to it, then I would imagine that we're going to see a gap up tomorrow, and that would put Workhorse probably around that price or that level that I was speaking about priorly. But if we gap up, that will send the EMA above the 200 or above the 200 on the daily. So let's go look. Oh, that's not a ticker. That's not a time frame. So, like I said and pointed out here, EMA crosses on daily time frames are strong. So that's where you get these really big pops. So if we get the EMA cross, and I'll pull the data window up for you. So the 20-day EMA is at 20.10. If we can get the 50-day or if we can get it over the 2021, 2023 probably if we get an uptick, then I think we'll see the finishing move for Workhorse as far as this hole will complete. We'll have broken resistance. By the time this 9 crosses over, we should be at this 24.25 level if that crosses out, and or depending on the volume, perhaps even 25.50, which would set us up to fill the tiniest gap in the entire world, which is like 15 cents. It's actually not that small, but on the daily it looks really tiny. But yeah, so if we can flip or keep if the ribbon continues to widen up and we continue to stay up outside of resistance, EMA's cross, then I would say with a good push in volume and the MACD being green and flipping over, and we're going to get a crossover as well. I would say all signs point to a bullish setup here on Workhorse right now. So I wouldn't say that getting a position in Workhorse would be a bad idea. Especially with it being a quote-unquote bottom buy. So, all right, until my phone turns back on, I'm going to just cruise over some other ones we played today. We all got Jamia. If anybody, I don't know if I can show my ideas. Nah, it's all good. So I charted this out on, let's see. Yeah, let's see. When did I do this? We did Candy, Space, JD, Zoom. I do a lot of request videos, clearly. Jesus. There we go. So Candy to 1250. And then I think right before that, Candy Cup and Handle. If you see right there, November 16th. So we had that cup and handle, and we actually ended up breaking down out of that cup and handle, hitting the 50-day moving average. But what I saw, and I was actually was watching the time and sales. There were some really large orders coming in. And granted, JMIA only has like 9% institutional ownership or something like that. They have made the volume push this morning was rivaled that of its first breakout off the bottom of the cup and handle, and even on that original breakout here. So since the beginning of JMIA's push and through the cup and the handle, JMIA has only solidified themselves as I mean, I'm not in Africa, but like somewhat of a legitimate company. I mean, obviously doing exactly what the Amazon of Africa type deal. So I mean, a lot of potential there, especially if they can get a leg up. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff just swoops down in his blue sky jet or rocket ship and buys that too. How's that man feel when he wakes up? It's just like probably who knows. All right, so all right. All right, LKNCY. Oh boy, wasn't this a different name? It was like LK, right? They just went with a name switch. Holy shit, they were trading at $50? What happened? Is this fraud? Oh, that's right, yeah. Luke and Coffee got hit with fraud. I ain't got much to say about that. Finds Luke and Coffee. I don't know, it doesn't look like they're getting too much good news. I mean, this is September 23rd. Has anything changed in their favor? Amy, what are you talking? Which ticker are you talking about getting in?
You left lights on the cards then.
Sorry about that, guys. I left my headlights on, so now my car's dead. It's alright. I got a self-charging pack, so. Change of management, I wouldn't. I mean, you're not going to find me investing in this company. And the only reason I say that is because they've got, I mean, God dog, I mean, I'm just looking at this news stream and nothing looked good. I haven't seen anything about Lucan Coffee. I'm not really sure. Are they delisted? They're in the OTC, so I'm not really sure, man. I really wouldn't know where to put my thumb on a ticker like this as far as like whether it's going up or down, because it's already fell so far down that like you can't take another. Right now is they're gonna wait and see if this company's gonna end up pulling, you know, end up making it as a somewhat of a legitimate company, or if they're gonna end up just shutting down or being a fucking not so Lucan coffee and just shitty coffee. So I'm not really sure, to be quite honest with you. I don't even drink coffee, so I have no idea on that one, man. I mean, just looking at the technicals, we're flatlined. It doesn't look like the price moves much between, let's see, 6 and 4. So I mean, like, even the price range is low. We got moving averages are right on top of each other. Volume's still crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, man. I'd honestly, if you were gonna look at Lucan, just buy and set it and forget it, like, because there's no use like holding on to it. You know, if they're gonna end up fixing their company, they're gonna fix their company, and I think we'll know otherwise. So. All right, fuel cell. Fuel cell looked great. I actually called fuel cell today in the group today. I think I was the only one who caught it though, but. Ripper, huh? Oof. Pre-market looking rough. Or post-market, excuse me. Oh, it looked rougher on the hourly. Okay, so let's see. One second, guys. All right, guys. Sorry about that. My car's dead, so I'm gonna have to switch back over. Jamia, that was the one. Sorry if I'm moving too fast. Your guys' comments are delayed, so I have to go and look backwards. So. Fuel cell looks good for some continuation, but I think it's going to need a pullback. The rip from that started the 13th, right? We're up. I think if I go look in this, they're top on the volume gainers, right? They've had like 20% days or like 10, 15 more percent days, a couple days in a row. So I think we're going to see a mild pullback. And the reason why I think that is because look at the hole. The hole just got stopped out there. So what the hole is probably going to do is tomorrow it's going to flip. Hold on one second. Georgia recount confirms Biden wants to. Oh, not. Why is the news telling me stuff right now? I'm busy. Okay, so fuel cell. Rejecting right there, the hole. So what we could see, right, we're below VWAP, is a pullback to 465. That would be my stop loss, I guess, if I was in equity. 465, break 465, or bounce off of 465, and perhaps some type of consolidation. And that's looking at the 1 hour. A lot of these guys, if I'm going to look at one time segment, and I'm going to take what it can give me, and then I'm going to close that, and I'm going to go zoom back out, and I'm going to go see, and then when you look at all of those time frames, you get a better idea of what the obstacles ahead are, what the obstacles behind are. You want to get so I tell people anytime you're charting, and you're on the daily, like there's not much you could do. Like, tell me how you chart these. You don't, like, obviously that's, you could just draw a straight line up with them. But when you're going and you're and on the daily, obviously not everything's a straight line. But even when you're charting on the daily, you go look at the daily and then you go head down, and then it tells a different story. And then you can be like, okay, this right here, that's something to look out for. 420. Got another one right there. 390. All of those things, you can mark those out, and then even as you go down onto lower time frames, you get a even better indication of what was going on during that trading period. So, and it's important to see how tickers move on certain levels. You have demand and supply zones, and a lot of times those supply zones will give you a chop, and a lot of times you'll get like big. Also, you'll get some chop around the demand zones as well, where a lot of buying goes on. So, GRWG after today. Yeah, let's check it out. Real quick, if any of you guys are watching, know anybody, I've already said this a couple times, but if you know anybody who would want to check this out, have them give it a peep. So give it a share, whatever. Arrow, and then we'll do GRWG. I've never done Arrow, but I saw it pop up today, so I will do it for you. Let's start with the 5. What is Arrow? Let's figure this out. Learn together. Bimbo Bakeries. Good start. Chassis provider motive wins Bimbo Bakeries electric van order. Chassis and software systems for medium. Okay. Arrow announces revenue. Karma team manufactures up with delivery vehicles. Oops, sorry about that. Oh shoot, where's my screen? I'm lost. There we go. Okay, so okay, Karma. So definitely somewhere in the electrical vehicle sector, right? It looks like they're moving with them. So let's go to the 15. So in the 15-minute, you broke trend. Do we have any post-market? I don't see any post-market data on this. It's BZX, so I'm not going to get post-market. So normally this would be an ascending triangle, right? So you normally wouldn't see this kind of movement. I do know that towards the end of the back, Solo and some other ones pulled back, and I think I'm going to expect to see. Well, actually, so they did pull back, and then we saw Candy and a couple other ones still make moves after hours. So I don't think that it can see after hours movement here, but a retest of that 20-day moving average could give us that wick back up, right? You can't see that wick. Is this after hours? No, it's not. Okay, so yeah. This could have very easily been bought back up and after hour, and we could stay consolidated within this triangle. We'll have to see what that looks like in the morning. If in the morning we're above VWAP at 566 or above somewhere in between, I would look for a bounce or retest of VWAP before we see continuation. We also need to see more movement in that sector in order to have some consolidation. Yeah, so I did see them pop up on the momentum scanners today, so. Okay, so we'll do GRWG now. Let me tell you something about GRWG, alright? These guys love taking profit. For real. These guys are profit-taking Mongols. Lots of insider selling happening here and there. Lots of it. That salesman guy, I think he just sold more shares. And I'm not saying that that's what's happening like on the chart, but we do have a channel, almost like a channel trade that we've been inside of. And then today, after hitting the all-time high, right? The all-time high of hold on one second. Sorry about that. So with GRWG, because we hit all-time highs, I mean, like, God, like, let's take a zoom, a trip back real quick. Yeah, all-time highs right here, 22. So we broke 22, and we're now up, and I actually ran fibs off of that. And those fibs had this price target, like this being kind of like where we go and see a pullback. So what I think we're going to see, right, and you'll see this, you can actually work this out with math, but you can take a standard deviation channel, right? And here, let's see if we can actually do that. Or a regression channel. Apparently not. Anyway, so with a regression channel or a standard deviation, it's essentially like you have, what we had on a micro scale here on. So it's like that, right? So imagine like you have a center line there, inside of that, and that's what standard deviation looks like. And so the whole entire, like, you can put obviously GRWG, the whole chart inside of that standard deviation line. And based on the angle that I have on my TOS, based based on the well, actually, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I just stepped on a little pin on the ground, and I was gonna pretend like it didn't hurt, but that shit hella hurt. Sorry about that. Made my mind go blank. Yeah, right. Okay, so with the standard deviation line, you have an angle at which that standard deviation goes, and it also runs with fib. But that standard deviation line has GRWG needing a breather here after tapping that deviation line, right? So after we've tapped it, now we need to give it some room to extend. And I don't, like, this is just my observations. You know, you can take them as you want. But like, say this is our deviation, right? This is essentially part of that. So what we need to do as we move along, you know, we'll just do spaz out here. As this caterpillar has a seizure on here, the deviation line, it gets higher and higher, right? It giving you more room, more percentages to gain, and also allowing the RSI, allowing the MACD, allowing all of those different indicators to cool off. If you're oversold, or you're even on the MACD, you're sitting right up here, you know, you're totally up. And what's actually really surprising is right here, when we hit all-time highs, we really didn't even have that full extension of the SMAs. So, and they're represented on that MACD graph as those two lines right there. But so anyway, I would be looking for a short break, maybe even a pullback. Not anything crazy, but I think that with and I will tell you that GRWG is best swung. It's not a day trading. It's not something like, very seldomly will you see GRWG have 3 green candles in a row. So it's really it's oh, thank you, Amy. Or a little weird. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah. So I think we're gonna see some consolidation, right, underneath 29, underneath 30. We're going to see consolidation under 30, and if we break below 28.30 in this EMA, and I don't think we will. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think we will. But if we do, then you have the level right below that of 27.50, and that's going to be your next stop, right? So that would be a load up zone. That's not right. It's fine. You do whatever you want, TradingView. I'm just here trying to make people money. All right. Yeah, so right there, boom. That's a level there that we're going to need to keep an eye out for if we get a pullback, because that could end up being a nice, I mean, shoot, we could get like an ascending triangle or a pennant here, you know, some type of consolidation pattern. And I don't know, like, I can't say the purpose of patterns is to buy more time. But in all honesty, I do feel that some consolidation patterns give you the time to get the news that you need, or get whatever it is that stock is missing. It may or may not have a chance to get that or receive that information. So I do very much possible signal to buy pins. I would absolutely say pins is a good buy. I think pins is gonna move. I would go and set your alerts if you guys want to watch. I'll move back real quick. Bombard the comments, y'all. I ain't scared. Y'all ask me whatever you want. What color my eyes? That's not it. That's pins. There we go. Mine are blue though. Okay, so flagging, first of all. Flagging on the 30. Don't ever take a 0 TDE contract on pins, please, God. Boom. Schlap right there. Oh, oh. You do whatever you want. Remember? There we go. So a little bit of flag right there on the 30. Like I said, see the support? We're above it, and we broke up past and up on top up. Ugh, God, my words. Up on top of this level here. Go ahead, that's fine. So, oh no. Yeah, I think it is. This man said I stepped on a pin, so it must be a good sign. You're hilarious. This is your fault. I'm blaming this on you. You put this pin on my floor. So Pinterest looks good because it's sitting. What it did, and we'll go back. It needs to go to Venmo. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I also have small children. I don't know where they came from. They just follow me all around, call me dad. It's weird. So with Pinterest, and we took a look at that hourly, right? So we have a nice gap up, okay? Retest, just like we always talk about. If you guys follow any of my videos, if you gap up, you're gonna retest, and then we stay above it, and that's the most important factor here, is that we stay above that level that we have set here, and now we have our next level that we have to deal with, and that's gonna be right up above, or right at 68, and then we got these wicks here, but I'm not really super concerned with those. I like Pinterest tomorrow morning at bell, and where I would set your alert, okay, and I'd make sure to do this on a higher time frame. I know this sounds silly, but this little footprint here, 67.15, it looks like 67.15. That's gonna be one of those, like, okay, cool, and or okay, there's multiple, and maybe I'll try and do this tomorrow if you guys want. Those of you who are already in my Discord, we're on live in the morning most of the time, trying to like chart these things out if we're up or not too busy. But what I would like to see, so if we get a gap up above this footprint here, then I'll chart, like, let's say I don't want to like draw something out, but I'm gonna draw something out. So like, you know how it like speckled in market, it's like, kind of like little dots. So say that last dot I just drew was the pre-market high, right? And then the bottom one, that was that's going to be our open, right? Because that's where we're at right before the bell. So boom, right there. If we open there, I would literally have this level already set. That's my entry, right? Pre-market high. If you're below pre-market high is going to be your entry for calls. If you're above pre-market low, then pre-market low is going to be your entry for puts. And you can take that to the bank. Nah, they don't take that anymore. All right, I saw. So as far as pins, yeah, look at it tomorrow. Watch for it to break that 67. Look for the volume to come in. Look for strong volume. We don't have strong volume right now. That's why we had the weakest breakout. And really just, it was almost like they just grabbed onto the edge and they're just hanging on. Because, like, I mean, they got up above that support, but keeping above it and then moving past it up to that high, that's going to be the feat or the challenge for them. And also, mind you, this is a Pinterest candle. That's funny. That's a earnings candle, right? So this is a big earnings jump, and where it's set, and if I'm not wrong, I believe this is all-time highs. No, 68.91. So anything past there is going to be all-time highs, and not to be taken lightly. And listen, my girl's on Pinterest every day, so there's your final buy signal every day. Wait, hold on. Third Point LLC dissolves share stake in Nike and takes it in Pinterest? Hold the phone. Okay. Sorry guys, I fell behind. Bloom Energy. Yeah, we'll check that out. DMY. I thought that said DMT. I was like, hold on, chill. What does that mean? Okay, hold on one second. Let's see. All right. What was that ticker again? I just forgot it. Bloom. BE. Okay, let's take care of it. That's how I feel right now. That's how we are. Everybody in this chat, we're all finna bloom into some dollar bills. Let's go. All right. Looks like you might have yourself a chop fest coming here. Is Bloom Energy oil? Looks like it. Supply solid oxide fuel cells powered by 100% hydrogen and electrolyzers. Well, first of all, we're above the 200 day moving average, and we've have. It doesn't. Oh, excuse me. It doesn't look like they want to let it go down, but it seems like they're trying to short it. Hold on a second. I want to check the volume, the short volume on that. Here's that channel it's staying within. Okay, so the good news is you're up above that channel. The bad news is I don't really have any yet. Hold on. Huh. Yeah, the bad news could be that this MACD finishes rolling over, right? And we get a little bit of downside because on the 4 hour, what I was noticing, let's move this down. Remember to clean up your lines as you move down to lower time frames. So even though we're chopping here, we're still staying right above that level. So what I'm going to be looking for, if this can happen, is a retest. So tomorrow, if we can maintain this level, we'll get a retest of this 9-day or 20-day moving average. That 20-day moving average, if it breaks through this resistances or the resistance alongside the price, I would imagine that will carry it up after kind of like almost a flag. It's a really dirty flag, but it's a flag nonetheless. So I would imagine that tomorrow you could see a little bit more upside with Bloom. This is my first time looking at them, so I might need to like go and do a little bit more studying tonight on that. If they're doing hydrogen stuff and not oil, that's a good thing. So, not because I like just love hydrogen, but that's hot. That's hot right now. That's what's popping. All right, what's next? DMYT. DS. No. What are you saying no to? Alright, DMYT, right? To be honest with you, I've never even seen this before. Holy crap. This thing looks like a butt. What happened here? Two completely different earnings. Good gravy, man. This one, whatever they did. And you're right, they are hot. The online casino betting gaming company that oh shit. Thanks for the heads up, bro. That's gonna move with DK and G. Those are gonna get grouped together. The MACD is not finished rolling over. I think you're gonna continue here, man. You got a 20-day moving average crossing over this 50-day moving average. That's always a good sign. Let's go to the daily. Let's take a look at what that says. Oh yeah, even better, dude. So it may not be right now, like as far as like, you know, this is going to be a relatively hard level for it to break. Okay, I got it. I got you. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. So, yeah, we broke this downtrend too. See that candle? How it moves right off that candle? I like that, that we bounced off nice and strong. So tomorrow, I know we lost 5 cents in pre-market, or in post-market, but that's of no concern because we're still literally within that level that we need to stay in. So what I'd be looking for tomorrow is obviously a break of 1350, right? That's going to be your first indication. I'll just go ahead and say it. This looks good to go. And the reason I say that is because you have a crossover happening on this MACD. The MACD is moving up quickly, right? We've almost already capped this other rollover here where we had a really strong, and we actually reached all-time highs. So we're in the third bar there, and we're already up to that. We're just a little bit away from that all-time, or that high there on that MACD. So everything looks good to go as far as the volume is moving up as well. Seems like we have 1.47 million, 1.5, and then right before earnings, everybody left. It looks like you were. Oh no, never mind. So one thing as well. Look at this. This thing is already shot up, and this MACD didn't even have this whole indicator hasn't even flipped. So the full potential of DMT or DMYT is going to be after 1350. You take them past 1350, and I think that with volume you'll see some strong continuation, depending on if you're taking this equity or if you're taking it option contracts. Option contracts, it looks like you could probably go out till March, because if this is an online casino, I mean, I'd have to do a little bit more research into like the legitimacy of it, but I mean, it could be in that same factor and category as DKNG, which DKNG, $100 company when everything's back to normal, easy, like easy. I don't know. I don't know anything about DMYT. Um, since we're at it, ENPF, got it. Got you. You think so? All right. I mean, if it's casino betting, yeah, right. Well, of course, that's what they always say. Um, yeah, they always say it's going to be bigger than DraftKings. I'm going to be bigger than Leonardo DiCaprio. Watch this. I'm sure they do. We'll see if that works out. ENPH. Oh, everything's litty. The MACD looks weak. Oh my god, look at that thing. Look at that MACD. Ugh. Throw that in the trash. Gordon Ramsay style. What a fucking disaster. Actually, when I'm charting, fun fact, when I chart, I listen to Gordon Ramsay. I don't know why. So 130, 130.50 looks like a good entry for NFAs. NFAs on the daily is just steadily moving up. NFA's energy signs deal with M Spectrum to provide solar solutions in Philippines. That came out the 16th. So we're in a 90-day selling trend. So the chief commercial officer sold 62,000 shares for 7 mil to meet tax obligations. Okay, so that wasn't just. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this out there. That MACD is a little scary, and I don't think I like it for some like strong continuation. Maybe even a break, a test of like a bull trap. Just looking at the way like this is set up, I don't know if we're gonna continue to go higher. The sentiment behind it is really strong. Because one thing I did notice was that, and I've looked at ENPH, but the one thing I noticed is that if you go to there's a social sentiment site, and what they do is they overlay the 9-day moving average on the social sentiment volume across the internet, just how much people are talking about it, and they correspond, right? ENPH has been on there as well. So the sentiment behind it is strong. So I'm never going to just, say, oh, well, it's not going to continue to run because I don't know anything about it or because it's, lost social sentiment. But when I see things like that on the MACD, that's confusing. And that doesn't really give me a strong. Now we could end up cresting or rolling back over for like a full rollover, but that's really messy and sloppy. Not something you want to see before you get to a breakout. Get some wine, Amy. Muhammad, bro. iBio, huh? Oh man, you don't know what that means to me, dude. If there's anybody in here who knows me, how could you do that, man? I bought iBio at $4. I'm just gonna go ahead. I bought it at $4 and I sold it at $5, and then I bought it again at $4. I still have it. I've averaged down. I didn't buy a lot. I bought maybe like 10 shares at $4, and then I was like, oh crap. But I will say, when iBio goes, I do have option contracts going out until March. So first off, iBio is algo traded piece of crap. They won't let it go. You could go in there, like let's say you win the lotto, you get $100 million. Go take $100,000 and go buy $100,000 worth of iBio and watch those algos unload those shares right in your face. Like straight up, you can watch the tape. 100 racks comes in, and here comes the algos. Sell, 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 sell. And they do not let it go up. Period. So, I think that what's going to... And there's... If you're Muhammad, if you're any... like an iBio fiend, maybe, like somebody who just really is waiting for this blast off that inevitably will come. When it comes, I don't know. But iBio is so deeply interconnected into the White House and into the coronavirus task force team. A lot of stuff is kept hush hush. They're next door neighbors, literally next door neighbors to Kodak. You know, not saying that just because they're neighbors, but I'm just saying that's something to keep in mind. Um, yeah, I mean, iBio is going to need news that they are participating in the vaccine, like as far as either providing, because they can put out, they use tobacco. Muhammad probably already knows this, but they use iBio, that's why they're to create vaccines. What's this? Oh, you can't open the pasta? I got it. Hold on one second. iBio is sorry about that. iBio is also worth mentioning, sitting at its it's the support that it has established here. Boom. So 160, and if we break 160, we're going to the gulag. Um, if we can stay above 160, then we can kind of still consolidate here. Um, but and it's honestly really frustrating because even their earnings wasn't like, I mean, their earnings show like they're technology based, a good company, right? And Tom, I don't know if anybody ever listens to the CEO of iBio, but you could put him on to go to sleep. Like just hearing his like just the way he talks and how sure he is of himself, not like in an egotistical way, but just in a way where he knows what he's talking about and he wants to run this business right. It just makes you want to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, oh man, like this is peace, in mind. But then the stock doesn't move, and then you're like, oh wait, nobody cares. So iBio is just gonna need to get rid of this algo section from 240 to 160 area. And honestly, it kind of looks like we might. I don't know if the support is strong enough to stay there, but we could see a return. This ribbon really thin, so I mean, like, there's nothing happening, but it's really really thin. And the thing that I think frustrates me the most is the volume. Like, I don't, maybe it's just, yeah, maybe I'm not misunderstanding something, but the volume on a daily basis is like crazy, and it just doesn't, yeah, it doesn't matter how much you buy. If you watch the time and sales, you'll literally watch your contract. Go buy 67 shares of iBio and watch. Somebody's going to sell 67 shares right in your face. And it hurts. Piton. Oh, site on gold and GDX. I might have to post that one because I have a lot of it written down. But one of our partner, his name is Top Shelf Broker, is what he's in our group. But he's the silver guru, doing this for 30, 40 years. So, like professionally, he is my mentor. But as far as metals are concerned, or one of my mentors, but as far as metals are concerned, we're waiting for the stimulus. Stimulus and silver contracts are the jam, right? Silver's gonna rip, gold, all that other stuff. There's actually I'm really fond of miner companies now. I've taken positions in just a few of those. FCX, which is a copper minery, GDX as well. I have longs, but I'm long out till March, and I take a lot of speculative contracts like that. So if anybody in here trades with me, you probably already know that. Of course, Mohammed, man, thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and this is a lot of fun for me. If you guys know anybody else who wants to hop on, just give this video a reshare, or just invite somebody or whatever. I'm happy to help. So I would really though, with the metals, I would expect to see, so you could take a long position in anticipation for stimulus talks, right? And then, like, if we were to go look at silver, we'll go look at silver. Why am I sitting here talking like I don't have a screen? I drew this so long ago. Oh my God. You see that? That's not because the silver loves pretty patterns. This is because they're trying, this is a consolidation move. This is the stimulus gonna come or is it not? Kind of deal, you know what I mean? So we're not making any drastic movements up. We've made some not that drastic moves down in this range. I mean, that's a large drop right there, but nonetheless, I think that we're going to continue to get this consolidation and this up and down, and I wouldn't be taking silver contracts in anything other than a day trade if you have your resistances and supports set, and I mean that short term, right? So on the flip side of that, getting long speculative contracts, $30 contracts to be specific. December is the soonest I'd go, but I don't think I would do that anyway. Also, oh, okay, halt silver equipment changeover. That's not what I was like, a silver halt. What? But as soon as we get stimulus news, silver's metals will react, and you'll see that. And we should pump. So look for Pelosi, and I wouldn't look for them. I'd avoid them at all costs. But look for the politicians in charge of this to cure your metal woes. So. All right, let's do Peloton, because we're trying to get Peloton. That'd be sick. But mostly so I can trade. That'd be cool if I could trade off a Peloton, but. Peloton. Jeez. Sorry, I'm just doing some gazing real quick. Stake. Global management reports share staking stuff like up stake in Peloton. Interesting. Okay, so right now you have a pattern inside within a pattern. I can already see it here. And look at that. It's always right around there. Always right around that center. Right? It's not exactly, but it's always right around that center of your triangle. It's almost like the median line inside of it. I'm not quite sure if that's a dot, but I've noticed if, okay, so here I'll give you this technique before I dive in. You can write right. If we have this pennant here, and I draw a line, right, and I see where, because normally you're going to see that if you're inside of the bounce, you're going to see that median line be some sort of support. Form around a central level, right, to act as like a support so that you're bouncing inside of it. I'm not sure. But if your stock or your price is consolidating on the lower half of your ascending or excuse me, of your pattern, there's a good chance that you might break down. Not 100% chance, but consolidation on either one. So if you're consolidating here, good chance that we're going to actually use this middle line as a support. So where you might, same thing, you fall back down, and I'll show you. We'll jump back out real quick so you know I'm not bullshitting. Look at that. See that? See the line? It's not dead center, but it's right around there. Actually, there would be technically no dead center because that's not math. But you know what I mean. Alrighty. So anyway, Peloton. I think just looking at this technical, I'll give you both sides of the coin. Whole ribbon is big, fat, and red. We're gonna see a little bit more downside if we cannot break above the 50-day moving average. Which, if we go pull our data window up, data window says that we are at 105.85. So 105.85, and then our support sitting at, let's see, we're tapping around 99.15, somewhere in that area, yeah. So you may see more or less bounces up here, and I could be so bold as to move this line down here a little bit, because if you can see this, I mean that EMA there is actually just acting as that wedge. Like this is like a wedge in itself. If I go down to the lower time frames, you guys are going to see what I mean. And that's why we go down to the lower time frames, because I want to that's a key setup we have right there on the 15. So let's look at the 30. Not quite set up yet. 45. Better setup there. All the same setups, but good. So Peloton has the potential. Okay. All right, we'll stop at the 1 hour because I can give you your play call here. I haven't done my taxes. I have done my taxes, just kidding. It's a song. So this is a gap fill here. Or a gap, okay? And it's actually really awesome that it's here, because gaps can be the gas. It's a gap full of gas right there. And what happens, right? This is how this is going to work. This is what this is going to, the timing of this. And I'll give you both sides of the coin. Okay, so what this is going to look like. If we can continue to move up, right? So we have this downtrend. We could even draw there. I don't think that we're going to break down right here, right now. I think we would break down if we hit this rejection here. So what happens here, right? This line, you can see my line. By the time tomorrow comes around, my 200-day moving average will probably be right, maybe just like a cent lower. But we'll be right there on top of that line. So not only is Peloton going to have to deal with the 200 EMA right above this resistance that it already has to deal with, but you're also going to have right above that, you're going to have 112 or 113 that will be the start of the gap fill. So once you get that gap fill, and you're moving through that, where does that gap fill end? Right at resistance. So you've got enough, you've got the space, you've got the setup, you have the EMAs looking to curl back up and cross over that 200, which would back up and cross over that 200, which would then give you that jump. If anybody wasn't with me earlier, you would have that EMA crossover looks like. HPI. Let's peep it. Real quick, before I move on, if we reject 110 or 110.05, if we reject that, and what I mean reject is you're going to see green candle, and immediately as it touches that, the wick, you'll wick down, and you'll see that on the hourly time frame as well. You'll immediately see a wick. That's a rejection. If you get consolidation, right? Maybe not. Maybe we break through. Maybe the volume's high enough to do so. And so if we reject there, we would fall back within this like wedge within a wedge, or whatever you want to call it. You could call it actually a descending wedge inside of that wedge. That's very true. Yeah, so we could tap that line there and then end up falling and going retesting support. That's your bearish setup. I don't think that Peloton's going to see that bearish setup. Unless we get a market-wide pullback, I think Peloton's still a buy. I mean, the sentiment is still strong. And I think people are just waiting for this sell-off to get done. So I think it is done. I think this is the bottom. Oh, Lord. Just got here. Would you mind going over AHPA? Did that answer your question, Amy? Amy's got the wine. She's like, hell yeah. No, I was playing. All right, so let's look at AH. Where did I see it? I'm trying to remember what my brain. Yeah, AHPI. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Thank you. Good God. Allied Healthcare Products. I'm pretty sure I see their trucks around my house. Where are they based out of? If they're based out of here, homie, I'll go there for you. We'll go see what's really popping. All right. Nope. We're gonna go to the daily. See what we look like. Zoom in. Zoom zoom. Oh shit! Look at the volume. What in God's name? Ah, I see what happened. Did they pump off of earnings, or did they pump off of, or did they dump off of earnings? So pumped and then they dumped. Let's see if the thing. Two China by Mexican. Yeah. So California orders nightly COVID on gatherings. Allied health products. So get drop a little bit of insight on AHPI that you have. That will help me with my technical analysis as far as direction. Because just looking at this now, I think you're going to see some downside, at least a return back to this support. Excuse me. I'd love to see the short interest on this as well. Short squeeze here. Because we popped from 4 to 8. We doubled in one move. One day. What did that look like?
I almost want to comment on it. I was about to say, is it for that PP run you got it?
Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty. I think we may see a little bit more clarity with the stream now. Yeah, just let me know if the stream looks good now. I would say allied healthcare is going to continue to fall. 495, and then below that you got 470. So it doesn't look too good, to be honest with you. I'm trying to see the bull part of it, but I don't see it. Okay. Okay, cool. No, you're good. Send the takers and you guys don't have, I'm not mad. Appreciate you guys being here. Send them in. Send them in. All right, we'll start with Riot. I'm gonna start a riot. My children are starting riots right now in my own house. It's awesome. Oh, there's writing on the walls. All right. So Riot blockchain, there are, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not super familiar. I'm into crypto, but they are crypto miners, correct? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure. Riot blockchain, crypto miners. Announcements of news director. Let's go look at the daily. Let's see what the daily's telling us. You guys want to see something cool? Hold on. I'm going to give you guys this. I want you guys, if you have TradingView, before I give you this, it is not to be taken as the one all say all as far as whether you're supposed to be in a trade or not, right? But a lot of times, in order for me to get confirmation, also Riot actually looks really good now that I'm looking at this. Really good. Look at the volume. That's amazing. Excuse me. So this indicator I'm going to show you guys here. We don't talk about that ribbon. No, I'm just kidding. That's my whole ribbon indicator. But what I want to show you guys is this indicator right here, and this is and like I said, I'm giving this to you, but I also want to give it to you responsibly. I'm not giving it to you. You could find it right now. But if it's coming through, if I'm the one passing this information, you may already have it. But I want to make sure that like you guys know that this does not mean when you see the signals that's what you have to get in. So you're gonna go buy. They're like, shut up, just tell us now, please. You're not our dad. You're not my dad. All right. Woo! That's a little messy there. So we're gonna go inputs, turbo, 14. Clean it up. Zoom in. 524. So what you see there is a buy sell indicator, right? So why am I telling you to take this lightly? Because if you're looking at it right now, you're like, dude, it's obviously ripping, and you're wrong. One thing that can happen is this buy signal can light up and go away immediately, right? So you want to wait. If we're on the daily and you get a buy signal on the daily, and you're already in the trade, that is what you want to see. That's good. That's great confirmation, and that's what I use it for. I don't use it to look for. I mean, you could go out to the weekly, right? Or the weekly, and if you see a buy signal pop up while you're in a swing trade, add more. But this indicator, and it's buy sell alert by CCI. You're gonna turn the turbo length, both of these 1414. You do your own style. I don't know if you can even change these. I'm pretty sure you can't. Yeah, it says that you can, but you can't. You can't change the word colors. Just the arrows underneath it. But yeah, okay. So anyway, buy sell CCI by Jade 1143. And so what that's going to allow you to do is when we get these setups that I keep talking about, right? Your EMA crossovers. Let's go find one. Sorry, I'm breaking off from the riot. I'll get back to it, I promise. I'm trying to. Oh my god, that looks. What? Sorry for your eyeballs, people. That's one hell of a chart right there, eh? Let's eBay, trusty. I was on Jim Cramer for eBay. It was really funny. He made the weirdest faces. So, like for example, if I go to the daily here, got a buy signal. If we break downtrend, which is what we're looking like we're going to do here with eBay, right? Got to really. Actually, I take that back. We already did. Perfect. Now, also, I want you to see. This is beautiful. I love when stocks do this. Check this out. Look how cool this is. You see where I just laid my resistance at? Where's the hole? And that's on the daily. So like a lot of times the EMAs will actually represent supports and resistances on multiple different time frames. And that goes for the whole ribbon as well. The whole ribbon I can't give out. Not yet, because I don't know if I'm allowed to. And I want to make a video for you guys explaining exactly what it is, but I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that either. So when I know that I'm allowed to, I will absolutely do so, because I think it would be great use to people. I might get it tattooed. People are like, oh, it's a cute ribbon. What is it? Like, it's a whole ribbon indicator so that I know when to buy and sell stock. And they were like, that's weird. Giving away the game. Did we do Mara already, y'all? I feel like we did Mara already. Mara. Why the hell do I have them charted out? Where the hole is and what you're referencing. So, okay, sorry. Buy, sell, real quick before I move forward. The buy, sell CCI. And I'm only giving, this is just confirmation, not signals, but confirmation. Some people do, but I don't. When you see these buys, right? Buy, sell, buy, sell. I don't personally, I kind of like have, since I'm an options contract trader. That's like a majority of my revenue comes from that, and then a lot of my profits go into equity. with the buy sell indicator, it can give you confirmation on higher time frames. Where if you enter a trade, like you know what, here, let's go look at what was Baba. Yeah, we'll go look at Baba on the daily and see what it says. So my recommendation right here is no buy. And the reason why I say that is because there's absolutely not even a sign. From the last sell, there's nothing. Right? So, good chance that we could see a jump up and chop and then back down to support before we get a buy sell or a buy indicator, or tomorrow's candle breaks out, right, sends us back up, and then you get your buy indication there. So the whole, when I say whole, I'm HULL, and I'll show you. This ribbon is what I call the whole ribbon indicator. See that whole sweet? So sweet. Ain't nobody. Plug power. Yeah, I'll give you some plug love. Ooh, that sounded weird. About to get booted off YouTube. Sorry guys, I've been up since 4:30. A little tired. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, the whole indicator does not work on the 4-hour. That's my final diagnosis on that one. It just does not. Plug power. I think you're gonna get a pullback. I gotta get rid of the buy sell. I can't do it. Okay. Likely more downside, or just some profit taking downside on plug power. It's had quite the tear, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Yeah, so more than likely it just needs a breather. So if it doesn't break up out of this, which it very well could still, right? Because right now we're being supported by the 50-day moving average, and that's always a good bounce spot. And so if this 50-day moving average moves up and VWAP as well, then because it actually, yeah, let me God dog it, Garrett. Nobody knows what that yellow line is. Let me go change. Oh, sorry, I need to change VWAP to not a very thin, small yellow line that nobody can see. Okay, we'll check that out. Sorry, man. Moving like pond water. Plug power looks good. If it does pull back to 2260, possibly. And that also would be this level here, 2230. Maybe wick. You might see a wick past that. Other than that, I think you stay above here. There's nothing to justify such a dump unless plug power has done some fucked up shit. Okay, so Walmart, eh? Should you hold over the weekend? I like it. I don't know about y'all, but that sure does look like a double bottom to me. Yes, sir. Oh, but it doesn't have the same. We actually broke that. Oh, that may be pre-market. No, because that's daily. Yikes. Sorry, I'm narrating myself. All right. So I'm gonna ignore that. To be honest with you, I'm just gonna ignore that completely because I don't really think that was. Looks like an accident. Accidents happen. So maybe a really dirty double bottom, but regardless, we are past this high right here. I like that. I would have liked to see us close higher, but we closed higher than yesterday. So, and also I see it looks like to be an inverted hammer, perhaps. No, it's needs just a little bit more to the buy side. Let's go look at the 4 hour or the excuse me. So I'll give you two situations here, two possibilities. Um, so what we could see, and this more than likely, if you see Walmart get here, okay, oh get out of there, right there, 153.30. If you see Walmart cross that with volume, and this MACD has continued, because we barely dipped into this MACD with the crossover there, and almost saw the gulag, but we're good. And so we have a crossover, right? Little crossover happened right there. Perfect. Right before the crossover. Move up. Krishna, silver is solely relying on stimulus. If you scroll back in the video, I covered silver. But just real quick, take silver out till March or January, and then that'll allow you. I said 5:30. That'll allow you the time you're renting equity, right? We're waiting for a stimulus. That's what we need. If we get a stimulus, you'll already be in position, and the IV, you'll be ready to take on that IV as that. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm slowly, like literally slowly, and on down ticks, not on upticks, but on down ticks. I go grab a long silver contract because they're so cheap, and they also if anybody here plays option contracts, sorry if I'm speaking in options because I tend to play options, but yeah, if we get a stimulus check, then you'll see silver pump up really quickly. As far as Walmart's concerned, I really like, even though we had this super strong red MACD, which could have very well just been profit taking. Oh, this is actually earnings. Okay. Wow. So actually, in retrospect, Walmart held it together as far as response to earnings, which I don't know and have yet to read their earnings report. Looks like they had a surprise with 52. All right, I'm gonna take two more tickers, guys, and I gotta go ahead and call it a night. At least for the next couple hours. I might get back on towards my 9 o'clock, but I'm not quite sure yet. So let's. If you guys have any more tickers, or any questions before I go. Sorry, this is just a impromptu, but anyway, so for Walmart, up above the hole, I like that on the 1 hour. The hole is nice and thin, and the hole is this ribbon that I'm referencing right here. So if we can break that level that I was speaking of before, 153.32, 153.25, somewhere in there, it's because the actual line is thick. But if we break that level, I would then expect a continuation through the weekend, right? So today, okay, wow, tomorrow's Friday. Holy shit, that happened fast. Damn, why do the green weeks go so fast? Red weeks is like, oh shit, man, I can't wait for tomorrow. But no, so for Walmart, I would expect to see a break above 153.25. And after that, you could go ahead and enter possibly or hold your long contracts. One thing you could do is if you're in Walmart for your December contract, you can play it accordingly, or you can roll it out. That could help as well. But more or less, if Walmart pumps tomorrow, I would play it like I would play. I'm trying to think. November 27th or weeklies, so maybe not November 27th. Maybe even add. It might be a good ad at that point right there, and then keep an eye on the volume. If the volume's strong, then I would imagine at that point, yeah, if the volume is strong, then we'll have enough gas to get over that hump there. So. Cup and handle on space has a little ascending wedge going on here. Alrighty, everybody. I'm going to give you guys a minute to drop any more tickers in the bio. If you guys don't have any more, may call this a night. If you don't mind, I really appreciate you guys being here, and it's actually a lot of fun. I'm probably going to end up doing this on a nightly basis. So if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, retweeting, whatever, and letting other people know that this exists, because I more or less I like to do this because I know that the learning resources out there today are just have fallen under capitalism's sweaty grasp, because seriously everything seems to be charged. I understand, like, we have a Discord group and all that, but like, $300-$400 courses, when sometimes it just takes asking questions or having a mentor, have somebody to talk to. Sometimes you have to rely on what makes us humans, and that's our ability to connect and speak with one another. So I really want to be able to reach out to more people, and yeah, I got you, assassin. Don't assassin. All right. Yeah. So if hopefully do this so that people can have a chance to actually educate themselves or ask the questions that they feel like they wouldn't normally ask. Like, some people just feel stupid or something, and they shouldn't feel stupid at all. So hoping to give people a sense of security, or just even a place to start. If you know a brand new person, that's like what I do. I really enjoy helping people get a leg up, and also one thing is, if you can find, if you know what you're looking for, right? Like, if you know what you're getting into, know about what you're getting into before you get into it, it makes you a more educated person, as far as, like, you're not going to get swept under the rug. You're not going to get microcharged $450 for a copy and pasted, course or something like that. You're going to get you're going to be able to see through the smoke, and realize that, yes, trading can offer lucrative gains, but there's also risk involved, and there's also, you know, the link to my Discord is in. It should be in the bio, the iBio, or the iBio. Dang it, Mohammed. That's your fault, dude. Now I'm scarred again. I just got over it. Here, let me see. Maybe how about we'll just do this. So, and I want to be transparent and let you guys know, like our server is charged. We don't charge for any education. Anything that we come across, any info we have, it goes to you. We don't think that there's really any reason for that at all. Most of the information we learned from somebody else. So, and that's usually how most information goes. So, all right, I am sending. I think I'm gonna try, if it will let me. Chickadee, chickadee. Maybe not. Hold on one second. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So, what you do is, all right. This YouTube. Okay. Try that one. Tell me if that works. All right, let's cover Plantier. As far as I know, they just got a new contract to do some stuff with Steve Carell and Space Force. So looking forward to that. Considerable amount of volume. Brand new MACD. And it's hilarious looking. Because it's just 4 red bars, or green bars. So anyway, also, just to throw this out there for anyone, if you do join, you don't have to put your debit card in. We have several days during the, every once in a while we'll just open the chat up and let people in on the live. And then also we do like 3-day, we want people to at least experience it and see if it's something. And then also we want people to utilize, if you do join, utilize the one-on-one for free. If you never join or never become a part of our group, that's totally fine. Just use us to learn as much as you can so that you can make a good educated decision for yourself. We also did the same when we were in that position as well. So, but of course, I appreciate you guys just being here and asking questions. It's pretty fun. So, we made ass of videos in the last 2 weeks though. So, all right. So 19. I think I discussed this earlier, but 1905, right? That's going to be Assassin. That's going to be where you're going to want to see a break pass. The good signs right now. We have a MACD flip, a rollover. The news is good surrounding Plantier, save for George Soros or whatever, and his. I guess he has qualms with what they do or how they do it. Yeah. Anyway, so MACD rollover. It looks good on the hourly. It looks good on the. I think I had it up on the 15. Yeah, 15 has it going up as well. All in all, Plantier has just continued a strong. This is a nice consolidation pattern here. We got the support right at right here. So we may extend, right? This may extend for a minute if we don't break up here. We'll see what happens though. But I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, all those other things. You can catch us on there, SimpleStacks Investments. So give us a follow. And then as well on, if you guys don't have TradingView, I'll go ahead and show you right now. This is me. So you guys can give me a follow. This is where all of my ideas get streamed immediately, right? So you'll literally get an update as soon as I post something, as soon as I post ideas, and I post all the time. So, and a lot of them aren't even videos. Most of these are videos. I do a lot. I try and do videos because I feel like it's just better for everybody else if I just give them videos. Some people look at the chart and like, what the hell? The candy stuff was crazy. Yeah, man. Dude, I actually, if you guys want me to take here, I'll give you a list real quick before I go, and I really got to go. Yeah, so I ended up pulling 25% off Jamia on December 18th contracts. I paid $60 for them. I'm up to $140 on each one, so that was a nice one. And then Candy, dude, Candy was a good swing into today with the $11 call. And then I took profit and re-entered with a November 20th, and that was really good. I swung Tesla into today, and that was nice. Solo as well. Solo had a nice run. And my contract should be going in the money since I have December 18th $10 calls. We should see some type of clear into there. I was in, let's see where else. I was in Li Auto. Zoom, we scalped Zoom, AMD, and then of course to Apple and a couple of different GRWG as well. So all around a really nice EV day. In all retrospect, it was just straight EVs actually. I literally played Blink and almost like all of them. Damn, I need to chill out. Alrighty, y'all. Alright, well, it was a pleasure. If you will, give it a reshare. If anybody could look over this. But anyway, y'all have a great night. And I think I'm going to try and do this tomorrow, so keep your eyes out. Or keep your eyes peeled, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, give me a follow on TradingView, and I will have an update for you tonight on a few more tickers. You guys are also, my personal IG is DIFFERT, differt. So you can follow me and message me there for the time being, as long as like a shit ton of people don't show up or something. And if you have any questions, Dumbledore's Trades, that's also another one you can message me on. And then, of course, SimpleStacks Investments. But anyway, thank you guys. Really had a lot of fun. We'll be back on tonight or tomorrow night probably. Possibly doing the same thing. If not tonight or tomorrow night, we'll do it Sunday. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening, and we will catch you in the next video. Yeah, there we go.